Yes. How are we all
Yo,
doing?
yo.
I was enjoying that new tune. If you like that new tune, leave a W in the chat.
Bro, I
You
was
know,
low key,
it's
I was low key vibing then, bro.
it's international break. It's international break, so we thought we'd play a chill song because it's a good opportunity for everybody to just chill out, have a cup of tea, like Jordan is there.
Actually, oh my
Um,
god, coffee.
yeah, coffee, whatever you like, whatever your beverage of choice is. Just everyone can calm down because it was getting all very hectic there for a while, wasn't it? You had Manchester derbies, you
Mhm.
had trips to Anfield, you had FA Cup games, Champions League draws. Then we had the cup draw. Like it was all getting a bit hectic. So look, we whether you like the international break or not, it's an opportunity to relax. I'm not a fan of it. I get bored, but you have to welcome these opportunities to
Mm.
rest the mind a bit. But we are still going to be here as best as possible, bringing you the latest news and updates. I hope you're all doing very well. Smash the like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe if you are new around here. I don't think we've had a chance to speak, me and you, since the cup draw. Chelsea in the semi final. We don't have a great record against them this season. We may as well touch in on it before we do the Haaland news and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Treble
man.
talk is rising again. Treble talk is rising again, brother.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd have been nice to get Coventry. By the way, let me know if my mic's too loud. You in chat. Last time I had to change it on the settings on here. Um, yeah, treble talk. Obviously, it would have been nice to get Coventry given our fixture build up. However, getting Chelsea, it is what it is. Obviously, it's not been the greatest of seasons for us against Chelsea. It's disgusting. But I still back us, man. I still back us. I still think we can get the win against Chelsea. I think we should always back us. Do I think the treble's on? I mean, it's on until it's not. Do I think we should be talking about it? No, not too much. Because if you set your expectations that we have to win a treble, then you're only going to set yourself up for a fail. I think obviously Chelsea next in is they're a good team. Obviously they're not doing well in the league, but we've clearly had a difficult time against the top six sides by United this year. So I think drawing Chelsea, I wasn't too bothered. Weren't the best of draws, but it is what it is. What are your thoughts, bro? You worried or?
It would. I mean, it would have been nice to get Coventry, considering
Yeah.
like the narrative that people love to spin about City always get the easy draws. It's absolute rubbish. It's such rubbish at this stage. I mean, look at the Champions League draw: Real Madrid, then potentially Bayern or Arsenal, and then the FA Cup. We had Newcastle there. We're gonna have Chelsea, and then the idea of another Manchester derby final potentially if we get past Chelsea's honking. I hate the idea of playing them at Wembley again.
Mhm.
But look, if treble is to be a real thing, people, if it is to come true, a back-to-back treble, like I said, don't pin your hopes on it because that's not a realistic
Mm.
expectation. The route we have there is it's heavy, it's nasty. Do you know what I mean? We've been given the hard side of Champions League draw. FA Cup's not easy. And then of course the Premier League is what the Premier League is right now. But I suppose, look, it's where you want to be, isn't it? You want to be in these big games. You want to be playing the best teams, and you want to prove it. You know what I mean? You don't want to leave any doubt because if we win, if we were to win a treble again this season, I don't think anybody can argue that we aren't the greatest football team of all time. But look, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge,
Mhm.
before that becomes a reality. But yeah, we just want to touch in on that really quickly anyway. The people are coming in, they're floating in nicely. Make sure you have all hit the like button on your way in. Super chat here, and we're going to start with this. Thank you for the super chat as a good prompt, Rio. He
Yes,
says,
Rio,
Sus
mate.
that Gabriel, Nunes, De Bruyne, and Haaland are injured. Um, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
I promise. We're gonna deep dive into the underworld of managerial tactical decisions going into international breaks. Now, look, we'll start with the main piece of news. Haaland injury worry, bro. The word is Norway had a training session this morning, Tuesday morning. Haaland limped off. I believe it was his ankle, they're suggesting. The Norway doctor then came out and said the quote was just no problem. He didn't give any real details or any idea of what has happened or what has occurred. The quote was no problem, which should, at face value, calm you down. But at first glance, how do you assess this? Because for me, there's an overriding narrative here that, come on, you can't avoid.
I don't get. I'm not concerned about it. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think there is a concern. And say this injury is an injury, right? And he's gonna miss a couple of games or whatever. You got to remember is we played really well when Haaland wasn't in the side. Like just for people who believe he'll be out for a couple of games, which he won't be. I don't believe the injury is serious. But I think if you look at, if you say hypothetically speaking, it was to be serious and he was going to miss the first few games when we were back. Yes, he'd miss the Arsenal game, which is pain. But also we played very good whilst he wasn't in the side, so I'm not concerned about that side of it. But when it dialing it back to the actual injury aspect of it, I don't. I think Guy's fine. I think he's fine.
I don't think there's anything wrong with him.
Nope.
I hate to be cynical, and if Norwegian fans or anybody involved with Norway find it disrespectful, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I believe in the case of both De Bruyne and Haaland, if Norway and Belgium had, say, blockbuster Euro qualifier games or World Cup qualifier games, I believe they'd both feature. Now, Belgium are due to play two friendly games. The first one being this Saturday here in Dublin. And Haaland and Norway, I believe they have other friendly games as well. Now, if you think for a second it's worth their while playing these friendly games on the eve of Arsenal, Real Madrid, Cup semi-finals, must win. Every league game right now is must win. Why the fuck would you risk yourself playing against Ireland in a friendly?
Yeah.
You don't. You do exactly what Alex Ferguson used to do. You do exactly what Jurgen Klopp likes to do, and that is you go, that's great, boys. Congrats on being selected, but you're not playing. And if you're the players themselves, you probably don't really want to play. De Bruyne has nothing to prove to Belgium. He's going to get selected for their Euro squad regardless. Haaland has nothing to prove to Norway. He's going to be selected in all the future Norway squads regardless. So it's not as if they're in the shop window in these friendly games and they need to do it. The reality is, I hate to break it, they have bigger fish to fry. I know everyone hates that term, but they have bigger fish to fry at club level. We are on the brink, bro, of potentially, like we've touched in on, a back-to-back treble. It's there. It can be done because, like you said, it's not out of the question until it's out of the question. You don't need to risk yourself in these friendlies. I think it's just total and utter dark arts / professionalism, whatever way you want to call it.
It's just another one of the things in it that happens. Players, if the manager can get away with any of their players, any of their top players, not going to any of the friendlies, they will do that. They will do that any way possible. You keep your top players out of that. Kevin De Bruyne, keep him far away from Belgium as possible. Erling Haaland, keep him far away as possible. Jeremy Doku, I'd keep as far away as possible. I mean, any player, I'd just be trying to get away from the internationals because we're coming into the business end of the season where we've got a really difficult run in. For them to pick up an injury in the friendly, it could be detrimental to the rest of your season. So it's a risk that isn't worth taking, all for a friendly.
Exactly. I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
Harry in the chat says, I agree but disagree. The doctor said he's fine, so unless he withdraws, he'll almost likely play. No, I get that. And he may play. He may play for Norway. And if he does, that's also perfectly fine. That's also good news. It means he's not injured. And if he plays for Norway without receiving any further injury, he's going to play against Arsenal. But we're talking about this on the basis that, Haaland's picked up an injury that forces him to not play for Norway. So if he doesn't tog out for Norway and everyone starts to go, oh shit, maybe Haaland actually is injured, is he going to be available for Arsenal? This is the angle I'm coming from. If he plays for Norway, it's no issue. It's business as usual. He's calm, he's grand. But if people are going to say, oh, he's injured and will he be around for Arsenal? Yeah, he will. Unless he gets injured playing for Norway over the next two games, if he does play, I believe Haaland will play against Arsenal. And speaking of Arsenal, Gabriel, the Arsenal centre half, has just withdrawn from the Brazil squad to play in their friendlies. They're playing against England this weekend. They're not. I don't think they're competitive games at all, whatever Brazil are doing in the next 2 weeks. But similarly, I would imagine Gabriel's thinking, I have City at the Etihad. City at the Etihad for Arsenal in 2 weeks' time is the biggest game of Mikel Arteta's career as a manager. It's the biggest game. There's nothing has been bigger than this for him. So he's going to want his best assets to be in the best shape possible. Now, obviously, there is limits to how much of this you can do. You can't just tell all your international players you're not playing. But you can hand pick. You can hand pick. I'm sorry, the reality is you can.
Yeah, I think I think it's just smart managerial moves. It keeps players fresh, and like you say, we're going into a difficult part of our season. Obviously, we've got Arsenal, which is one of the biggest games of the season so far. Liverpool was that big game. Now it's Arsenal being that big game because we. It's mad because we're going for the second half of the season. We could be facing this. It's a similar story that we're not that all the top six sides other than United are taking points off us. So we could be running into something very, very similar. Yes, Stonesy Bear. How you doing, mate? Did you I actually met Caitlin the other night, Stonesy Bear, mate, but she says that you ghosted, mate. You ghosted. Stonesy Bear tried to slid in some DMs the other day, bro. But he ghosted.
Oh.
Guy chickened out, innit? So unlucky
Stonesy
Bear, mate. But yeah, what he says is right. Do us a favour, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It does support us. It's a massive way to support us for free as well. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay anything to like it. Ghosting like Saka, bro. Nerves have fell out, aren't they, Stonesy Bear, mate? But yeah, the injury thing with Haaland and that, like I say, I'm not concerned. It's like the dots coming out and saying that there's no problems. I think again, it is a reiteration that everything is fine with Erling Haaland. I've played football before and limped off the pitch afterwards and been fine the next day. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, and look, I think the doctor probably isn't concerned at all. If he's saying the words "no problem," I know there's no context to it really because we can't see any body language or the actual interview, but that's the quote. And look, the reality is with players like Haaland and De Bruyne as well, because of both their track records with injuries, you have to be extremely precautionary, because they're obviously such high value players. They're really important to their relevant teams, both Norway and Belgium. So if either of them feel even the slightest of a twinge or a strain or anything, you pull them. You say you don't need to train anymore. You don't need to play anymore. I mean, Pep did it the other week, didn't he? Against Newcastle in the FA Cup. He said De Bruyne had a bit of an issue. Or no, it was another game before that. Was it maybe Luton or someone? I forget. There was one game where De Bruyne didn't feature and he played the next week because he had a small issue. They both don't have the best injury records over the last couple of years. I mean, Haaland missed 2 months not so long ago. So if Haaland says, look, I'm feeling a bit of an issue with my ankle right now, I don't really want to train too much more today, you tell him, Grant, he's not going to lose any fitness through not training because he's what, 6-7 months into a 9-month season. So it's much of a muchness, really. These are the kind of players that, particularly at this stage of the season, they almost don't need to train because they're already sharp. They're already match fit. It's like NBA players, you know what I mean? They just play games during the season. They don't really train. They just play games, and they're so good. They don't really need the training. Like younger players, Doku needs the training. He needs to learn from Pep. He needs to adapt. Oscar Bobbs, even Phil Foden adapting to midfield. These kind of players, they need to be in and around the setup. But Haaland is just a finishing specialist. He doesn't have to train at this stage of the season, in my opinion. De Bruyne, who is Kevin De Bruyne, just be careful with them, man. Just be precautionary. I think it's fair. Got a good few super chats here. Big up everybody sending in super chats.
Yeah, I appreciate it massively.
But do you get what I'm saying before I do the super chats about the not needing to train sort of thing?
Yeah, you know, I understand exactly what you're saying, brother. Because they have that quality there, and because the season's so fast, like we're playing every 3 days anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're just gonna fall out of it, I get what you're saying, bro. I understand you. People might take out of context, innit, if they don't listen to the whole thing. What do you mean players don't need to train
ever again?
They'll be shit if they don't train. They're gonna get injured. Yeah,
no, it's more me. It's more a respect. It's a compliment. It's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
That, like, we know what they're both about. And at this deep into the season, they've done all their match training and tactical training. They know what they need to do. It's just about making sure they're in the right prime physical condition to execute that.
To do the planning it on the pitch.
Exactly. Big up, Professional Idiot. I saw you on the Big Six last night, Professional Idiot. I did shout you out, but I don't know, did you hear me? Because they all yappa over me. But big up, Professional Idiot, man. Liverpool turned into Vince McMahon from WWE, lost their quads again. By the way, our defense needs to tighten up and put Alvarez in midfield and we'll be fine. The Liverpool quad was never a quad. I'm sorry. They need to stop this every season. We're going to win a historic quadruple, historic treble, historic something. It's not a quad if it's the Europa League. They need to shut that notion down before they allow it to become what it became. It's not a
Mhm.
quad with the Europa League. If you're going to do quadruple, you need the big trophy in there, big ears, the one we have that sits in our dressing room
If
right
they're
now.
happy to throw anything, our formidable season then will class as a quad.
Yeah, we've
I
won
mean,
quads
if
in
you
like
start throwing any trophy in there, we'll just throw the Community Shield in there and a domestic treble.
yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
And then our
Like,
defense needs to tighten up. The defense is actually, I think it's coming along okay right now. I think it's coming along okay right now.
I
But
think there's a controversial opinion in there from. I agree with you. I think our
there
defense
is,
is doing
there
all
is.
right, but
I
I
was
think
going
there's a
to move on to
controversial
that.
opinion in there with Alvarez in midfield. I don't agree.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. Pi, I don't
I,
agree.
th- I think I think if you throw Alvarez in midfield, I'm waiting for Hussein. There's a guy called Hussein who always comes in the stream, right, and he always slates me for hating on Alvarez, and I'm not. But I think if you throw Alvarez in midfield, I think you're loosening up that midfield. You're not bolstering it. I think Kovacic being a regular in the squad helps.
Look, the reality is our midfield has started to function quite well in the last couple of weeks and months. And a big reason behind that for me, and in just my opinion, is that we've taken Alvarez out of midfield. Foden is now, I know he lines up on the wing, Foden, but he does move in centrally a lot. He floats around almost a free roaming midfield winger, whatever way you want to call it. Bernardo, De Bruyne, Kovacic. I think Kovacic has been absolutely fantastic. Alvarez, he doesn't need to be in there. He doesn't need to be a midfielder, in my opinion. Pi, big up Russ. He says, has anyone seen Stefan Borson's views today when asked around FFP on Typical City and talk shit? He bossed Simon Jordan again. Did he do it again? Did he have another pop at?
Yeah. I put it on my the Typical City one. I put it on my watch later before I was going to watch it, and I was going to message. I was going to message him and speak to him about it, but I completely forgot to watch it. So I'm going to watch it later on. But yeah, he's had his beef with Simon Jordan again as well. Which, I'll have to check it out though. I appreciate the reminder, Russ Davis, and I appreciate the 5 as well. I need to see it. I need to see it. We need to get him on the channel. Actually, we need to get him on the channel.
Yeah. Can do.
Well, we can have like a full FFP stream in it. We'll get him on the channel and that and speak to him. Obviously, I know Typical City's done it, but maybe when there's more news and stuff.
Big up Russ, man, with another super chat here again. I appreciate you a lot. He says, looking ahead, who do you see coming and going in the summer? What do you think our transfer budget will be and positions of priority? Do you know what, Russ? I'm going to come back to this super chat because it's quite a good question that we can probably have a good conversation about. So
yeah,
I'm going to
that leads us on away from injuries onto like a good part. So we'll bring it back up again on the screen in that, but we'll come back to that.
We're going to bring that one back up, Russ. Don't worry, man. Because we have Kimmich updates, so we're going to interlink all that kind of there. Big up Sai, man. My guy Sai says, Hugh, asked Ducking Jordan why he hasn't replied to me on X if he ain't ducking. Also, am I going to see you at Plaza Mayor in Madrid or an Arsenal Luton? You will see both of us in Plaza Mayor.
Yes, you'll see both of us in Plaza Mayor in Madrid.
And
also, I'm not ducking. You messaged me on Saturday, bro. On an app that I don't have. To be fair, I'm very bad at replying anyway. But on an app that I don't have notifications on, so I'm gonna take my name out of the hat and be like, I'm not to blame. However, I have just seen your message. And he said 30th of March. I'll show you who's the Spice King. Okay. It's on, Si, mate. Telling you, I want you to send me a picture of you side on, yeah, right? And I'm gonna take a picture of me side on. I'll create a poster. Do you know what I mean? Like a boxing poster, me versus you. The Bunny Jacksons.
You'll see all of us. You'll see all of us in Madrid. Big up for the super chat though.
Yes.
And then the last one here before we keep it moving is Bevo. Big up, my God, Bevo. He says Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Ederson, and potentially others getting rested is a massive win. Ready for the final run-in. 7 games in 21 days coming up. We will be there. Kind of interlinked to what we're saying, we have a massive couple of weeks and months ahead. So is resting on their conscience? I believe it is. I think it would be negligent to not consider it.
Yeah. I think the fact that these are all getting rested and that is sick. I think that's the way you take this injury news. That's the way I'm going to take it. I'm not concerned about it. If other fans want to take it as, your players are all getting injured before the running, like, yeah, they can do what they want to do. Just wait until we get back and everyone's turning up again. I'm absolutely sound with it. I think it's good all these players getting a good need a little bit of rest. And yeah, the final running, major mate. We're playing like every 3 to 4 days.
It's gonna be busy, man.
Horrendous fixture build up.
Make sure you're subscribed around here, man. It's gonna be a heavy couple of months.
Yeah, man.
Big up Bevo, man. Appreciate you for the super chat.
Yes,
Russ,
big up for the
like
fire,
said,
bro.
We're gonna get back to your super chat now in a minute, Russ, with the transfers. But first of all, Thibaut Courtois, in my opinion, is actually the best goalkeeper in the world. It's might be an unpopular opinion. I believe he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
I think he's single-handedly, from my personal experience, I've never seen a goalkeeping display as good as his in the Champions League final ever in my life.
Outrageous. Now, he's a bit of a dickhead, but he's an unbelievable goalkeeper.
Yes.
He's a bit of a dickhead, but he's a serious goalkeeper. He has torn his meniscus on his other knee to the one he recently did his ACL on. So he's going to be out for, they say, 2 months, which means he's out of our tie. He's going to miss our Champions League battle. So he won't be there for the Bernabeu and he won't be there for the Etihad. That means Kepa will be in nets for Real Madrid in our game, which, look, I know Real Madrid are Real Madrid and they have plenty of talent there, but look, if Courtois, I never wish injuring anybody. I do wish him a speedy recovery, but on a footballing level, it's probably giving us a bit of an advantage because, look, I know we hammered them 4-0 at home last season, but he stopped it being 10-0, if you remember that correctly. Like, he saved a couple, 2 or 3 point blanks from Haaland. He saved a couple rocket shots from midfielders. He saved 1 or 2 from Bernardo before Bernardo scores first. It could have been 7 or 8 that night if it wasn't for Courtois because he's that good. So, look, it's sad for him. I do feel for him. I don't wish anybody to be missing these massive fixtures, but from a City perspective, I'm not really going to complain.
Blue tinted glasses on, it's good for us because he's a very good goalkeeper. However, without that on, you do want the best players to be playing in these best ties. You don't want to give them any excuse for a loss or anything like, oh, you only won because of this. You know what I mean? The reason you play the best teams and you get excited for playing the best teams is because they have the best players and that. However, it is good for us. It allows a little, not too much favoritism like towards City, but it allows like a little bit of an edge towards us. Like, it's good that we can see that. I heard you say Kepa then. I've seen in the chat before that apparently it's not even Kepa who's after him. I think Kepa's fallen down the pecking order. It's a guy called Lunin who's been playing really well for Real Madrid.
Okay, I didn't know
so,
that.
I didn't know that either. So shout out the chat. I've seen Lazarus in the chat. Dan Tralius has said it. Quite a few people in the chat have said it. So big up everyone. But yeah, apparently the Lunin is the other Donny who steps in. So yeah, hopefully. I mean, I back us regardless. Even if it was Courtois in net, I back us. You've seen what we've done when Courtois has been in net. So, I mean, I'm scared of Real Madrid. I wouldn't say I'm scared of Real Madrid. I'm scared of the prospect of losing because it's, you know what I mean, it's in there. But I back us. That's what you got to do with these big games. You want to play the big games.
Yeah.
But my nerves don't. What my football head does.
I'd say Kevin De Bruyne would have liked Courtois to be playing just to hammer more goals than him. You know, that beef there. We won't go into it, but there's beef.
No, I mean in the chat said every City fan collectively hates Courtois because of KDB, and you are absolutely correct.
But you can hate him. I don't like him as a person. I thought that Champions League final that you mentioned where he was insane. Remember his interview after? He was a total knobhead about the whole thing. He was like, I don't get the respect I deserve. And I hope he's basically sending shots at English fans, English football fans, like mad cunt, but really, really good goalkeeper. So
he's a very, very good goalkeeper.
Advantage City. But get well soon.
That's what we'll title it, bro. Nobody the preview.
Big up Russ gifting 5 memberships, man. That's 5 memberships. Russ, what a legend, mate. What a legend.
What a G.
If you have received one of those memberships from Russ, make sure you thank him profusely because it's such a nice gesture.
That's why he's the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT. Big up Russ. And like I said, we're going to move back to your original super chat now after I've done these 2 super chats. My guy Piplup, I'm live at 10:30 on Joe's channel. I better see you there. We need to have a few conversations, me and you, Piplup. He says, hope you're doing well, lads. Ben White, you good?
I was just about to say I can. Is that stream scheduled? Yeah.
10:30, yeah, it's scheduled. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can put a redirect on this, innit?
If you want, yeah, I can go through these while you're doing that if you want. I don't mind.
You know what, right? I need someone to explain this Ben White thing to me because I ain't seen it.
So to kind of big up Piplup, by the way. I want to see
Big
you
up
at
people.
halftime.
Yeah, appreciate your super chat, bro.
He says Ben White, clown, clown, clown. So what happened with Ben White was, to my knowledge, no one knows the actual facts, cold hard facts. Is that so? There's two stories. There's two. Neither we don't know if either are true. Now the first one is that there's three. There's fucking three. Sorry, because Big Steve dropped another one. The first one is apparently when he went to Qatar with England, he wasn't satisfied with the fact that he wasn't the first choice right back or something along those lines, and he wasn't getting the game time. So he stood up in the dressing room in front of everybody and said, "Fuck this! If you're not going to play me, I'm going home." And stormed out. Proper bad man. Second one is apparently he fell out with a Manchester City player. People believe it to be Phil Foden. And the third one, which is what Big Steve heard, by the way, so please nobody say I'm saying what Big Steve is facts, is what he heard, is that apparently Ben White during the Qatar trip missed his girlfriend, so he wanted to go home.
But then what? So why is all this coming out again? Qatar's done,
because Ben White got Edu from Arsenal to ring up the FA and say Ben doesn't want to be selected for this camp. He doesn't want to play for England.
Wow.
Do you know that?
Nah, I didn't know that. Right. I seen it popping off and I was like, why is Ben White trending? Then I seen that I seen that he signed a new contract. I think. Anyway, I was just like, I don't know what's going on with it. So I just swerved it, bro. I just went, oh yeah. And it ain't nothing to do with me. So I'll allow the Ben White thing to simmer. And then that's pretty mad. Yeah, so there's your different variations of what Ben White can be.
Yeah. So you guys make up your own mind as to what's true, but these are the ones I've heard. But it is fact that he's told the English FA he doesn't want to be selected for England for the foreseeable future. So he won't be going to the Euros. And I'm sure Arsenal fans are pretty cool with that anyway. But that's your Ben White update. Sai again says, freaking stoked, guys. First beer on me then. Jordan, I'll turn you into Stuart Little. We'll send you a pic with me and all my empty hot one sauces. #king.
Go on, Si, mate. On a real old site, I'm not going to duck in it, and I actually can't wait for it. When is it? 30th, isn't it? So, yeah, can't wait for it, mate. It'll be good.
We're all booked in for Madrid side, so we'll all see you out there.
Fact.
And then we got Press Lily again here. The 10 says, we keep leaking goals at this point. We need players to step up and outscore our opponents. With the amount of chances we create, we should be crushing their hope early. I meant no Alvarez midfield.
That makes more sense. Because when you said the first message, I was thinking, I'm sure Pi doesn't like Alvarez in the midfield. And then, so that makes a lot more sense.
We keep leaking goals at this point. We need players to step up and outscore our opponents. I mean, look, that's kind of in theory what you want, isn't it? I think we're coming along nicely. I think bar the Anfield game, I think the Anfield game was definitely an off day. I mean, the Derby was good. The Newcastle game was really good. I thought that was one of our best collective performances in a long time. I know the 2 goals were deflected and whatnot, but we blamed Newcastle. We did. I know they're not in their best shape right now, Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe's probably coming towards the end of his time. But from our perspective, I thought we were really good. So look, all we can do is hope that what you're saying there is exactly what happens in the Etihad in 2 weeks' time, innit?
Yeah, we are leaking chances, which is just the story of our season. I think the Newcastle game gave me a lot of hope as to, obviously we controlled the game out, which was good, but we knew what Newcastle were going to do, and we did kind of minimise obviously the tactics were very clear, long ball over the top. And they're going to run onto it just like they did against us in the league, which did well for them. I think it kind of gave me hope that we're kind of fixing that. But obviously you are going to concede chances in games. That's just the way it is. That's football, innit? You're not going to go all the way. But like I say, we need to take our chances. Like I say, the amount of chances that we create, we need to be finishing our chances. There's a lot of games this season where you look at it and go, this could have been put to bed a long time ago.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think we could have put the Anfield game to bed in the first half. I think the 1-1 is probably a fair reflection of the overall game. But the first 45, I thought we could have put them to bed, but we didn't. And look, maybe with De Bruyne getting this rest injury period, Haaland getting this maybe rest injury period, it might be what they need. Do you know what I mean? Haaland has looked really frustrated now for a number of weeks, I feel. I know he got 5 against Luton. He scored a couple here and there as well. And his stats are very good this season, but he's probably not getting the amount of chances on a plate that he wants.
It's a frustrating year for Haaland, I think. This whole season's a very frustrating one for him.
Injury included.
Injury in there. So I'm just hoping, he can come back, relax, and just end of the day, we know what. But basically, there's no breaks. It's just basically when we get back, that's it. You're playing every 3 days to the end of the season. You want to win it. Now's the time to dial in. This is the business end. This is we're in the end game, innit? This is that's it.
I mean, we've done pretty well, haven't we? We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, FA Cup semi-finals, and we're thereabouts in the Premier League. With the reality is an injury-stricken and frustrated Haaland for large parts of the season. De Bruyne missing for almost the entirety of the season up until the middle of January, early February. So if those two can really click over these next 3 months, I believe we can do something really special this season. But big up professional idiot.
Listen, I'm glad you'll say Haaland contracted the bozo gene.
Pip up again, big up Pip up, man. He says saying no to England is disrespectful. What a twat. Yeah, I mean, look, everyone's going to have their opinions. Everyone's going to have their opinions on that one. I think saying no to your country is a bit disrespectful. Just to say out and out no. If you don't want to play, just say you've got a pain in your ankle or you got a sore hamstring or something. I don't know. Pull some sort of a stunt, but to just outright say I don't want to be selected for the foreseeable.
I also think what's that big that you can't sort out? Like, what could have? I mean, surely some whatever's happened isn't out of the realms of fixing.
Well, to be fair to Waistcoat Man, I know he's not very popular in England, but he came out and said he wanted to resolve. I don't word for word, but he wanted to resolve it or he wanted to fix it. He likes Ben White and he wants him involved in the future. Obviously, Ben White was going, no, mate. So look, it is what it is. He's not one of ours, so I don't actually fucking care. I'm not.
I genuinely. I mean, it's double for you, isn't it? You know, you don't support England, so he's not a City player, and also you don't support England. So be like, I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like he can do what he wants.
There's loads of people getting memberships here. Why?
Yeah,
because Russ has just gifted another 5. Big up Russ Davies, man. What a guy.
Big up, man.
Community. You know what it is, man? We have a great community here. We have a great community. I know.
Incredible.
We don't have 10,000 watching us live every day, but we have a great core of people.
Core members and that. Do you know what I mean? It's very, everyone. Like, you recognize people by name. Even, I mean, Fairs, it's pretty funny. Even Bug Guy, I know Caribbean Racer just deleted your chat, mate, but that's funny. Bug Guy's a United fan who's just been gifted a membership by going on to this. His professional idiot just gifted 10 memberships as well. Big up professional idiot, bro. Massively appreciated. Sai still not getting one. He's a massive W. Hold that, Sai, mate. You can take that one home. And yeah, Bug Guy's a United fan, and the first thing he does is get a picture of Caldoon and put 115, which I think is top quality. That as a United fan to get gifted a membership on a channel, and then he can now use the Caldoon thing as well as putting 115. I think that's pretty funny.
That's good. That's good crack. That's good crack. Big up Russ and professional idiot, man. Like I say, guys, in the chat, if you got gifted one, make sure you thank either of them or both of them a lot, because they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that.
Yeah, they don't have to do that. Like it's mint, man.
It's a nice gesture.
Just for people that think the gifted memberships are chosen, by the way, they're not chosen. It is randomly gifted out by YouTube at this point. Still, I think it's something that we've put on as well. When you can do like reviews with YouTube of how they can implement things, we've always said that it needs to be. You can have the option to select. Do you know what I mean? So I could click on someone's name and gift a membership. That's the way it should be. But at this moment in time, it's still not that yet.
But yeah, if you're one of the lucky few to get one, make sure you thank Russ and Professional Idiot. Going back to Russ and one of his previous super chats, here it was again. Russ, I told you I got it back up. He says, looking ahead, who do you see coming and going in the summer? What do you think our transfer budget will be, and positions of priority? Now we'll leave this super chat on screen for the minute because I'm going to tell you about Joshua Kimmich. So this came from, I believe, Florian Plattenberg, who is a pretty credible source when it comes to German football. He'd be up there with, your Christian Falks and so on and so forth. Yeah, here we go. Bayern Munich are prepared to sell Joshua Kimmich this summer for a suitable offer. The player is not ruling out a move and is open to discussions. Man City are among 5 top clubs in consideration, while some have already contacted Kimmich. Now, we don't know if City are one of the clubs to have contacted Kimmich, but we are definitely in consideration, according to Florian Blattenberg. Joshua Kimmich, we've kind of known for a while, haven't we, that City, first of all, City are interested in Joshua Kimmich. Pep loves Joshua Kimmich. And that he's not altogether satisfied with the setup or the vibes at Bayern Munich right now. So this doesn't come as a total surprise. First of all, bro and chat, Kimmich in the summer. Now, when you say that, you go, oh, Joshua Kimmich, yes, of course. But you think about what we already have. We have Kovacic now as well. And I think if Kimmich comes in, someone like Kovacic is going slightly down the pecking order. Mateus Nunes might go slightly down the pecking order. Calvin Phillips, you're obviously finished. How would the dynamics of that work? Because I know people say, well, Bernardo might go, but Bernardo and Kimmich, they're not interlinked, in my opinion.
I think, obviously, like we'll get the Kimmich news out of the way, and then obviously we'll go more into what Russ says. I think Kimmich will be our number one target. I think he's our number one target to get. I think there's going to be a bit of competition in for him. The rumour is you can get him quite cheap in summer. He doesn't want to be there anymore, especially if Tuchel carries on. I don't think Tuchel keeps his job, in my opinion. I think he does end up leaving Bayern Munich. I guess it depends on how far they do get in the Champions League, but I'd back us, even if they did get fired, back us to knock them out. It depends on what their expectations is from the Bayern board of Tuchel now, because obviously 10 points behind in the Bundesliga. Last time I checked it was 10 points behind anyway. So I think Kimmich will be our top target, our priority target. Whether or not another manager coming in changes Kimmich's mind, I'm not sure it will. I think he'd probably want to re-up a time with Pep Guardiola. I think getting Kimmich in solves quite a lot of problems. He can play right back, which we've seen. We know he can do that very sufficiently. And I think with Kyle Walker at this moment in time being a bit up and down, I think having someone like Kimmich who's versatile, can play there, is very good. He can play as the 6, which I think is very, very good. So I think basically replacing Calvin Phillips with Josh Kimmich is such an upgrade. And the concern that people have about his age, and I'll always go back to this, we signed Fernandinho when he was 27 or 28. I get he's 28 or 29. It's one of the two. I get that. But
29.
29. So I get that. But the price that you're going to get him for, there you go, starting at 25 million is the rumour. The price you're going to get him for, a quality backup to Rodri, and someone who's versatile enough that they could play on the as a right back. I think getting Kimmich in is an incredible sign of City. And I think he'll be our top target.
Yeah, I mean, if Stonesy Bear's valuation is accurate, that rumor is accurate. I mean, 25 million. Fuck me.
But the price wise, there's a caveat, is that he's on over 300 grand a week at Bayern.
Would you give Kimmich 300 grand a week to get him in?
No.
He
can't, because then what's Haaland on?
4 or 5, I want to say, at this stage.
Oh yeah, to be fair, Haaland's real wage is not known. So Kev's on 400, isn't he?
Yeah.
Grealish is on 300, I think, actually.
You'd be putting him on par with Foden, Grealish, Bernardo.
Yeah, I think you might have to give him 300. You might have to. Yeah, you might have to give him 300 grand a week, to be fair.
You do have to if you want them. You do, because look, the reality is he's 29, so he's in his prime. A very versatile defensive player. So as long as he looks after himself, which I get the feeling he does, he could probably play for another 5-6 years at a pretty good level. At 29, I don't think he's going to be willing to lower his wages. These are his prime earning years. You know what I mean? These are the years where he's going to earn the most money in his whole career. So whatever contract he signs next, whether it's at City or one of the other 4 clubs in consideration, or at Bayern Munich, I'd imagine he's going to demand in the region, if not more than 300, because he wants to maximize his earnings while he's in his prime.
In fairness, I say do it anyway. 280k Tino is where I was thinking as well, but I say roll the dice, man. I say go for it. You know what I mean? You want 300 grand a each, Kimmich, mate? Yeah, come sort it out, do bits.
It would be different if we had to pay what his realistic market value is of like 80 to 100.
Yeah, if you pay 80 million pound for him and then you've got that 300 grand a week on top of that, then it's a lot added in. But I just think,
I mean, that's 25 million euros, Stonesy Bear said. So that's like 20 million pounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable price
cheap
for such a quality player who, look, we always talk about players when they sign for Man City, they're going to have to adapt. They're going to have to learn for Pep Guardiola's way. We know they have a fantastic relationship. We know Pep made Kimmich. So I don't think there would be too much of an adaptation period for Kimmich at Manchester City. I think he'd fit in seamlessly to whatever role Pep decides for him. So 25 million euro, Dan Traders, yeah. So there's a lot of positives. He's seasoned, he's experienced, he's international, Champions League, Bundesliga. It's hard to turn down. It'd be hard if he said to us, "Look, Bayern are going to accept 20 million pounds, and I just want 300 grand a week." I'm saying pull the trigger.
I'm saying go for it. Just on the fact that he's versatile and he's not Rodri. No one in the world is Rodri. Rodri is the best CDM in world football. So he ain't going to be that. But what he is going to be is an absolutely quality backup to Rodri. And also can play him right back.
Or a pivot.
Can play with Rodri. Yeah. I think there's loads of different ways that he can run this. That I just think it's a great signing for City. I think it's something that we should be pushing with.
I think when we were interested in Declan Rice, it was with the idea that he would play beside Rodri or in between Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne. That, kind of 6'8", sort of box to box, whatever. Kimmich also fits that criteria. He fits the bill to do that sort of role as well. So yeah, I think I'd really like Joshua Kimmich at City. I mean, Piplup says we don't need Kimmich. We have Jacob Wright, lads. I know you're a big fan of Jacob Wright, Kimmich, but he's another one of the unproven players. Maybe if he's good enough, he will make it, but we just don't know.
I think City will want more of a quality backup. That's no disrespect to Jacob Wright in the slightest. I think they'll want a proven backup for Rodri. We can't hammer out every year. And given what's happened with Phillips, I think they'll want someone who's assured. I think Kimmich would do well in this City side, and he's obviously Pep made, so I think it's something that'll work very well. Big up Big Steve in the chat, and obviously appreciate your super chat, Piplup again. Haaland's fine. Yeah, that's what we're hearing anyway. Haaland's fine, which is good.
Yeah.
Injury wise, not injury wise. Sorry, transfer wise again. Obviously, we have the Kimmich thing. I think our top priority, which Russ Davies says there, which our top priority will be, I think it's getting that CDM role. If it's Kimmich, if it's not Kimmich, we're interested in Bruno Guimaraes. If we want to put him in and around that 6 and 8 role kind of thing. So Bruno and Kimmich are the names that we've seen linked with. I think it'll be Kimmich that we go for, and try and get over the line. I think that's priority 1. And then priority 2, I think we'll be getting Paqueta, but I think we already made that our priority last year, so we've got everything pretty much done. I think Paqueta's a tap-in. I think it's easy. I've said this plenty of time. I think, just tap in at the end of it. As long as that yellow card thing is cleared, the betting.
Yeah.
I think we're sorted.
I agree. And I think the Paqueta, I think Kimmich would fill the squad hole that Calvin Phillips will leave behind. So I'm not saying it will be specifically Kimmich, but we're going to have to fill the void that Phillips leaves behind, because you don't leave yourself short of players. And I think the Paqueta one will hopefully, if Bernardo leaves, fill that gap that's left behind in the squad by Bernardo. Now, will Bernardo go this summer? An age-old question. We're asking ourselves this every single week. We can never come to a. You think he is going to leave? But we're saying that for years.
Again. I think it is again. I feel today. I feel. I feel like this is it now. I think Bernardo leaves after this season. I just think if that release clause is real, £50 million for Bernardo Silva, any club would be ridiculous not to not go and activate that.
Would you be satisfied with Bernardo leaving and we're just told Paqueta's his replacement?
Yeah.
I think so too. But you have to people like I don't think Paqueta's as good as Bernardo at the minute anyway. I don't think he's close because Bernardo's such a unique player who offers us such a unique asset. But what you have to factor in is what we've got out of Bernardo and what we've got since we signed him from Monaco 7 years ago now. We've had him at his best and he's given us so many trophies and magical moments and memories. So Bernardo falls into that category for me of players that if he wants to go, let him go with open arms. Is he club legend status? Silva?
I'm gonna wait till the end of it. I'll wait till he goes, innit, to decide that.
Is he club legend?
The thing is with Bernardo is we all know that he's wanted to go. He has stayed around, and he probably could stay for another couple of years at City, then just go to Benfica. And it wouldn't surprise me if he did that. I just think
He's completed the game.
He has. I just think it's something that like does it ease the fact that if he was to leave, if Paqueta comes in, yes, it eases it. We're not going to sign another Bernardo Silva. You know what I mean? There is no other, but there's not a Bernardo Silva 2 that just comes into it. So you just got to allow that things will change, and Bernardo will go, Paqueta will come in. Like we see it plenty of times.
It would, if Bernardo is to go, City need to pull out a big signing to replace him. First of all, to ease the pain, and second of all, to go as far as he possibly can to replace his quality, to replace the quality he's going to leave behind, because you're losing a world class, bona fide world class player. So I think hopefully that answers your question as best as possible. I think the priorities, as Jordan outlined, are probably, I think my thought process is in line with his. Russ is back again with another 5. He says, if Saudi come for Kevin De Bruyne in the summer and offer 100+ mil, do you see City cashing in and going for Wirtz or Musiala, including Paqueta? You're asking the heavy questions in the international break, Russ. I said we wanted to relax. This is Kevin De Bruyne to leave. Oh God.
No.
No.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it'd be such a monumental loss to lose Kevin De Bruyne that you can throw £100 million at it and it won't fix it.
It's not.
I think
not
you
even
could
money.
throw £200 million at it. What's you're saying there? Wirtz or Musiala, including Paqueta. Paqueta is going to cost you 75 million. Wirtz or Musiala is going to cost you 100 to 120. So you're looking at a £200 million outlay there straight away for a risk of it, and then that's obviously you've got good talent there, but then also you've not got, and as much as KDB isn't our captain, and I don't really see him as our captain, like, do you know what I mean? But then I just think his experience in the City squad, I think he's just unmatched. I think we need to keep Kevin De Bruyne at all costs. I would not sell him for anything.
Will you answer the super chat? Someone's banging on my door here, like they're trying to kill me. Give me 1 sec.
FBI, open up. He's been done. They finally got him, chat. They finally got him. Yes, Ross, I see you say. Sorry, guys. No, it's good. I like the questions, mate. I do like the questions. I do think, I think Kev stays with City. Does anyone in the chat disagree? Do you think they found his fire stick? They're clamping down on fire sticks. They've got him. That's quality. That is quality. Yeah. Is there a price that you could put on Kevin De Bruyne's head? Because for me, you could offer 200 million for Kevin De Bruyne, Saudi. I'd say no. And people might just, priceless, as Tina. It could be just like, people might just be like, oh yeah, but you got to think about the business and how much. But yeah, KDB is priceless. Stop it. Like, Fruzzy's priceless. Agreed. Make sure they have a warrant. Yeah, we're saying you got done for your fire stick.
Yeah, I said
Can't fit
innocent till
down in
proven
fire
guilty.
sticks.
I said innocent till proven guilty. Don't make me hire Lord Panic.
Oh, did they run away? Then they ran off then, yeah.
They ran off. Yeah, they said, "Fair, we don't need that smoke."
Whoa,
Um,
whoa, whoa.
Top priority for me is KDB replacement. Musiala first choice. Verts to replace Bernardo. Spend that war chest. Heard we have a big window this summer.
I've heard
What was
that.
your synopsis?
I didn't actually get to this point. I was just still talking about KDB. So prior for KDB replacement, I think it'd be nice to get someone who's going to overtake KDB whilst KDB's still there. Musiala would be great, but I don't see us getting both Verts, Musiala. I know you're saying spend that war chest. That's a lot of cash. That Verts, like I say, you got £200 million in 2 players there.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard to replace De Bruyne,
But then also, say you get Musiala, Verts replaces Bernardo. Say you've still got Kimmich. KDB doesn't leave. You've got a midfield then of Kimmich, Rodri, Kovacic, KDB, Musiala, Verts, Nunes. Foden plays in midfield as well. I'm up to 7. Like, it's a lot.
No,
It's a lot.
Also, to shut down the Musiala one, I don't see Bayern allowing Kimmich and Musiala to go to Manchester City this summer. I just
but then I'll add Verts into that. I don't. Yeah. I think Bayern will do everything to sign Verts. I think they'll be in the midst for him. So
especially if they lose Musiala. If they lose Musiala, they'll go.
Yeah, if they feel like Musiala's got any even hint of leaving this football club, I think they'll be pulling every single trigger to go get Florian Wirtz.
It's natural progression, isn't it? He's German. He's one of the top players in the Bundesliga. They always end up at Bayern by hook or by crook. So
that's the way it is.
I have this feeling. I have no reason to back it. I have this feeling City are going to pull out some blockbuster signings this summer. I think if you want to retain Pep Guardiola, which I think that's the biggest priority of them all, it's getting Pep on a new contract. You have to give him resources. You have to show him the club is trying to keep showing ambition and refreshing. So what will tie into Pep's decision as to whether he wants to extend or not is what the club are going to do transfer wise. So the club are going to have to pull out a few big stops for me. Guys, just a quick reminder, there's still 300 of you in the building. Make sure you've all hit the like button. Let's get those likes up and subscribe if you're new around here. Big up to all of you for your super chats. Piplup's here again. He says, I mean, Raheem is a club legend. I said on the Big Six last night that Sterling is not a Manchester City club legend, and people went off on me. Where do you fall with this one?
I can see what the thing is. Raheem Sterling, is he club legend? A big part of him a big part of the club legend thing with Raheem Sterling is also the way that he left. He left in such a shitty way, which I feel like does dampen it. And I also think that he wasn't consistent enough to be considered a club legend. Had he been as consistent he was during them 2 years, I think he'd have more than satisfied that quota. Because them 2 years, he was incredible. He was very, very, very important for this football club for them 2 years. Like, he was up there with Ronaldo and Messi numbers in a calendar year. Like, he did bits. He did absolute bits. But I just think the way that he left didn't really throw a good light on him. I think I just think it ain't it. I just think it ain't it. Them two seasons were consistent. He scored a lot of goals for us, a lot of very important goals. Very important goals. And I'll go out there and say that we probably wouldn't have won as much if he wasn't in the side because he scored very important goals. But I think club legend, you know what I mean? I think it's hard to I don't want to just throw that name out to everyone, and it's hard to give him that name. I think he was very good for us, yes, and do I miss him? I missed that version of him when he was sick. But
I think, yeah, you could say cult hero for his moments that he did give us throughout those 2 seasons. But I tried to reserve the term club legend for genuine legends, in my opinion. I think how you quantify a legend, it's more than what they do on the football pitch. It's not just about loads of goals and loads of assists. To be a club legend, for me, you have to embody the club. You have to form a relationship with the fan base. You have to really bleed blue, as they say. Do you know what I mean? And for me, look, I've been a match going fan for the best part of 10 years now. So I saw Sterling's whole tenure at City, and ask any of the match going fans, I would imagine most of them will agree with me. It never felt you were there, Jordan, when he was there as well. Going, it never felt like he was connected to the club, if that makes sense. He was a professional. He went about his job correctly. He never messed up. He never did anything silly, but he never. There was no real bond between, for me, Sterling and the Manchester City fan base. I think we all admired him and loved him for his abilities in the pitch and his goals and the Southampton goal and big moments and that. But you have players like Fernandinho, Company, Aguero, even Gundogan. These guys, they embodied Manchester City. They came to Manchester as non-Mancs. And became almost Manc. Do you know what I mean? They became.
It felt like the weight of the club was on. They took it in their stride, onto their shoulders. They felt a bit of responsibility of this club. Do you know what I mean? On them, and I feel like that's what I like about they're where I throw the term legend out there.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I think there was a little bit of a disconnect. Not to say he wasn't a good player, not to say that for most of his part at City he didn't respect the fans and that. I just think the way he left wasn't very good. But it is what it is. I still think he was incredible. Kevin De Bruyne, yeah, without a doubt. Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne will get a statue. De Bruyne will get a statue. He fully warrants a statue at the Etihad. But look,
get him a big gold one. just take the piss, innit? A big gold statue. Yeah, a big ginger statue.
Look, if you want to believe Sterling's a legend, I'm not gonna actually discredit you or fall out with you over it, because it's totally up to you. But for me, I reserve that phrase for really special. You know what I mean? It's almost emotional when you see them, because you can tell the badge is glued onto them, like it means a huge amount to them. Whereas for Sterling, I just maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I never felt that. But Piplup, you're my brother. You're always entitled to your opinion. He says, Hugh, the Yaya and Raheem hater. I don't hate them. I don't hate either of them. Piplup, I'm warning you to stop this. You better stop.
I love how Piplup drives this Yaya hate, and now he's added Raheem onto it as well.
I guarantee now, Piplup will be in my stream with Joe later on at 10:30, and he'll be sending for me again. He loves coming in to rile me up. I don't hate Yaya or Raheem. I love Yaya. I don't love Raheem. I appreciate Raheam Sterling.
But LB998, Hugh does hate Yaya, to be fair.
Stop this.
Yeah, that is rubbish.
Mohammed here with the 199 says, the day De Bruyne leaves will truly hurt. It will, but it will also be a special day, because it's like, you know what? He's Kevin De Bruyne, man, and he's a legend. He's a total legend. So
hopefully what I'm saying is right. We're not near that yet.
No. For Pep or De Bruyne, I hope both of them stick around for a good while longer. Big up Russ again. Big up everybody for the super chat.
Mate, you're all going yes, Russ. Big up everyone, man. Like you're saying it. Big up for the super chats. It's massively appreciated. As I always say, you're keeping us in our job. You are our boss. You want things to change, we'll change it. You want different content, we do different content. We don't do it for ourselves. We don't make content for ourselves. We do it for you guys. We've got an exciting football video. As if you've not seen the trailer is on the channel. We've got an exciting football video coming out this week, and that's going to be a regular thing that we'll do more of. I know that Hugh's dying to show his football skills out there. So there's going to be a lot more football in-person videos, which is something that a lot of people have asked for. Honestly, the content is yours, and we have the capabilities and the production value to make, I think, pretty much near enough anything possible. So
absolutely,
whatever you say, I will try my best to make it an actual video, like 100%.
Absolutely, man. You guys are the best. You guys are a great community. Big watch along next week. I'm hoping to be on it. I'm hoping to be there.
Yes, potentially.
For Arsenal.
Potentially.
2
weeks. Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, Arsenal watch along. I'm hoping to be on it. Russ, I was at the Newcastle game and our fans left in droves before the end of the game. Our atmosphere has taken a massive drop this season and I don't see any sign of improvement. I was watching the Newcastle game with my missus, and I said, she goes to the games with me. She's a big City fan. She was at the derby with me and that. She said the exact same thing, Russ, when it was coming towards the last 10 minutes. She was like, what's with fans leaving all the time early? I get both sides of it. Okay. I get both sides of it. The first side is it's a bit of a nightmare leaving the Etihad to get back into town or to get. Are people going off at me? Yeah.
No, I just seen John Trolley then. I get the thing, bro. I get the two sides of it, bro. I get the two sides of it.
Leave. I personally stay to the end, especially if we've won. But if people want to leave, wouldn't be for me. But it is what it is.
I think
the reality
is the car park still an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
When we used to go, right, when me and LB used to go, the car park was sometimes, right, you park there, you stay to the end, which is sound. But if you stay to the end, you're committing to being in that car park to like 11 o'clock, man. you're in that car park. You are locked in. You are locked in. But then again, but it's just another commitment that you got to make. It's a commitment that you make to go into the football match, isn't it? If you don't like it, don't park in that car park. There's plenty of other places to park.
It's also the tram. The tram. There's always a massive queue in the tram. Nightmare. I always stay to the end, and then I stay half an hour after the game in the bar in the south stand. I'll have like one drink just to let the crowd kind of die down, and then I'll make my way off. But it's not for me. I don't like it when people leave early, but look, everyone's got different circumstances and everyone's got their own thing. And the thing with atmosphere dropping in general, Russ, is it's a sad reality, but it's what comes with constant success. Constant success is that you can lose your cutting edge. You can lose that raw aggression in the stands because people are just subconsciously expecting to win. We expect to sort of win, particularly every game in the Etihad. We do expect to win every game there. So like I know for a fact that I know Barcelona fans back under Pep at Barcelona, they used to talk about this as well. The new camp just became like a winning cauldron, and when Barca score, it was like, oh, there it is. We've seen our goals. When Barca win, there it is. We've seen our win. But compare that to teams like, say, Arsenal, who haven't won fuck all of note in 20-odd years. Their place is going to be raw and hungry and raucous, different to ours. Now, we can all make an effort collectively to improve that. And I know Big Steve is a big advocate for this. Martin's a big advocate for this. And I try to be. But it's hard when you have a lot of tourists, corporates, this, that, the other. It's hard to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think the sales of tickets, obviously, like City did a mess of a job last year with it. I think this season they've had a bit of a controversy as well with the sales of tickets and that. So I think atmosphere will be on. It should be at its best in this Arsenal and Madrid games coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be peak Etihad atmosphere for until obviously the next rounds. I think if it's not, then you got to look at it. But I do think there's a lot to go for. I know the 1894 group are looking at making some big displays for both of those games, which is exciting.
The thing is, look, with City fans, I believe we have one of the best fan base in the world. When we need to turn up, we always do. Anytime we like, it's like backs against the walls. Real Madrid at home last season, boom, raucous. Like, we know when we have to turn up, but to expect it for Newcastle at home in the FA Cup quarterfinal, to expect it for Burnley at home in a league game, we're beyond those kind of fixtures at this stage. We know that we should be winning them. I think
that's no disrespect to the opposition, no. And that's just the way that our future's gone for us. Do you know what I mean? Very fortunate in the sense that we do win a lot of things now, and like you said there, we are expected to beat those teams. So it's just like, and it's not horrible to say like the expectations there, especially in the Premier League. And that's why shocks happen, because the expectation is there and it doesn't always work out that way.
Exactly. So, I mean, Tinu in the chat says best away fans, hands down. If anybody goes to the away games, I go to as many as I can throughout the season. Our away fans are fucking class.
Top
Those
tier.
people who go, the people, I'm fortunate enough to go to plenty of them, but I don't go to all of them the same way some people do. There's a group of people who go away every other week, sometimes twice a week, and they're class. They really are class. If you get to experience an away game at Man City, trust me, you'll know what I'm talking about. Jordan knows it, and I'm sure plenty of you know it. And it will be in the Bernabeu. I promise you, we'll turn up in the Bernabeu as well. Russ again, big up Russ, man. You've been great tonight. He says, "Why can't we make it like the Madrid game?" We will make it like the Madrid game at the Madrid game. I'm very confident.
Yes. I think like I say Arsenal as well. Arsenal should be.
Arsenal should be. It should be. It's an evening kickoff, 5:30 as well. Yeah. I think 5:30.
4:30.
Let me check.
4:30 kickoff on Sunday.
Well, then it should be. If it was a 12:30, I'd be a bit like that could affect it a little bit. But
yeah. Early kickoffs stink, mate. Stink. Even the fans feel the early kickoff.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I was at that Liverpool game, the 1-1 back in October, November. It was brutal atmosphere.
Yeah, ain't it?
Big up Pi. Sterling isn't a club legend because at times when he was on the pitch, he was more detrimental than useful. Plus, he couldn't step up when we needed it most. Look, as fans, we like to remember the better times and the better moments as much as possible, and that's the way it probably should be. But if you are going to really dive into Raheem Sterling's career at Manchester City, he had 2 amazing seasons, and then I thought he had 2 really poor seasons straight after them. You know, when he was getting moved into kind of false 9, he couldn't nail down a position. He was regularly messing up, you know, big moments where he'd overcarry the ball.
Missed a lot of big chances. Yeah, missed a lot of big chances. And obviously everyone always go back to the Lyon game, which I think that Lyon game really cursed his career at Man City. That chance that he missed, but when I think of Raheem Sterling, I think of those 2 seasons where he smashed it. I don't think of the Lyon miss. Yeah. I know some people will have it the other way around, but as soon as you say Raheem Sterling, I don't instantly think of Lyon and that miss. I think of how good he was, and like, do you know what I mean, the goals that he gave us. I mean, guys got some important goals, man, but he just wasn't consistent enough.
That's the reality. That's why he's not still here. He's in his prime. He's 29. If he was consistent, he'd still be here. That's the reality.
If he was consistent, there would have been no issue with game time or giving him more money. He'd still be at this football club now, not at Chelsea.
Absolutely. And then finally, Piplup says Sun Ji-hai is more of a club legend than Mahrez. Do you want to take that?
There's mate.
Mahrez. Is Mahrez a club legend?
I love Riyad Mahrez.
I loved him, but I don't know
cult
about
hero.
Legend. Cult hero. Definitely cult hero. Definitely cult hero.
I think I love Riyad Mahrez, and also I feel like his numbers would have been a lot more up there had Pep just given a little bit more consistency in teams. Guy'd just go a hat trick and get dropped, like. And Riyad Mahrez is very much a, you know what I mean, keep rolling player.
Yeah.
But Fairs, man, the guy gave it all for us. And he enjoyed his time at City. I wish it didn't have to come to an end. I understand why he left, and I think he left at the perfect time. Fortunately, Phil Foden's stepping up and scoring more goals, having the best season goals and assist wise in his time at City, because Riyad Mahrez guaranteed you goals and assists. Guaranteed you 20 goals and assists minimum.
Yeah, those kind of players are priceless, man. Priceless. Those kind of players who guarantee you.
You lose a player like that, and it's difficult to get their numbers.
Piplup, I'm not a Sun Ji-hai hater. I'm not a hater. I like Sun Ji-hai. Anyways, listen. I think we'll park it there. We've gone an hour and 10, man. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the support tonight. It's been mad, to be fair. Genuinely been mad, and it's been good conversations in that. Like, obviously, we started stream talking about the 3 main subjects, but we've kind of dipped into a lot of different things. I think it's been a good stream, man. Good City chat.
Yeah, when you guys are active and you guys are not super chatting specifically, but when you guys are asking good questions and you're prompting good things, we always get into good conversations and debates, and it makes for a good stream, man. You guys, like we always said, you guys make this what it is. And as Jordan went into a few minutes ago, if there's anything you guys ever want to see specifically be done, always let us know. Always let us know, man. We want to bring you what you want.
Yeah, we want to give you the best content, innit?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
me
of course.
making a video on it and sitting at home watching it by myself, going, "Oh, look at this that I've made." You know what I mean? I ain't doing it for that reason. Doing it for you lot can watch it.
I am
yes,
sick.
I like. I am sick. Just watching videos that I've made. But nah, it's not the way it is, is it? It's not the way it is.
Russ again, man. People up, nah, but Sun Ji had a better chant. I was gonna go into that, but I didn't want it's a bit vulgar. Do you know the Sun Ji one? He had a few chants. Remember the one about Posh Spice?
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, of course I know that. Everyone in the world knows that.
Yeah, he had a few chants, Sun Ji, but that was my favorite one. Oscar Bob, big up Oscar Bob, man. He says back to 4 defenders at the back or still Walker. I like the 4 defenders. I can't lie. I like the 4 defenders.
I think Walker will just retain his position in this side, but it is what it is. I like the 4 defenders. I like it, but I just think I think we will just go back to Walker.
Yeah. And then Ron Wolf with the 30 months says, yes, lads, 30 months going strong. Hope you're well. 30 months is a long time, man.
Yes, Ron Wolf, mates.
Big loyal member.
Two things that are definitely getting done tonight. Ollie is finally getting his emoji because I don't hear the end of it, which is fair. He's been here for a month and a half now. Initiation over. Ollie and we've got some good pictures. Ollie's getting an emoji, and also the 3-year badge is changing to a golden goat.
I have that. I'm gonna
have that. You have that. So the golden goat needs rolling out.
The golden goat needs rolling out. I'm looking forward to that now. I'm excited. Okay. Right. I think we'll wrap it up there. Like we said, big up to each and every single one of you. If you haven't done so already, make sure you've hit the like button on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. We didn't speak about it, but I think it'd be cool to get a phone-in show going in the next week or the next few days.
Yeah.
Any of you guys want to actually come on and chat to myself and Jordy Porty? Let us know in the comments after the stream. We can make that happen. I'm live at 10:30 with Joe on his personal. It's my channel, but he operates on it. So it's his channel, my channel. Just type in HMTV 1894.
This will redirect. Stones Bears just put the link in as well. This stream will redirect you there as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a similar style live podcast chat with Joe as I did with Jordan here.
Can I chat to JB's mom? Did you ring up if she's about? Yeah.
She's a legend. She's a legend. Yes, Bevo, I'll see you then, man. But yeah, if you want to see more of me with Joe later on, 10:30 on that channel, this will redirect you. But yeah, myself and Jordan will be back tomorrow with some more content. Like I said, maybe a phone and show this week. Plenty to look forward to. We're going to try and make the international break as fun as possible. But till then, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Good night and God bless. In a bit.